Receiving scholarships at William & Mary, on the very surface level, gave me a sense of relief, a breath. I have a little more flexibility financially, and I have financial flexibility to do what I'm inspired by most. And as I delved more into what inspired me, the work that inspired me, being able to focus on the work itself and not other jobs to make ends meet, new ideas arose, new inspirations arose. And I really am here today from a series of inspirations. The inspiration base came from the ability to think freely. And I think the scholarships did that for me. There was 2 clowns that came to William & Mary my senior year, Pepe Ustenson and Maria Winton. Pepe did a solo show. It was 45 minutes long, and for 45 minutes he didn't say a word. He just used his body. He didn't even have any special costume pieces, no props, and he told one of the most detailed stories I've ever seen in my life. Those 2 changed my life, and they were guest artists that the theater department brought in for a year, and I was just lucky to be there when they were there. In 2002, I believe, there was an earthquake in Iran, and I called one of my friends who was a clown with Clowns Without Borders, and I said, "Hey, Rudy, this is happening. Do you think a group of clowns could go and perform for kids who have been affected by this earthquake?" And Rudy said, "No, we don't have the resources to make that happen, but we have a team going to Chiapas, Mexico in 2 months. Do you want to join?" I said, "Yeah, great." So I got hooked on the work.
Bonjour.
People say laughter is the best medicine, and as an emergency nurse, that's an absolute lie. But the problem is, all too often, laughter is the only medicine available. There's this feeling of uplift that comes through laughter, and I think when people see other people laugh, it reminds us that no matter what we've been through, we still have the capability of laughing. The teams I've worked with, we've witnessed some pretty extreme suffering. I decided to become a nurse after witnessing the death of a child in Haiti. We were performing in a pediatric hospital, working with different families, and we actually performed for this child and this child's family when we first arrived at the unit. We left him when we were in the parking area. A doc came out and said, "Just to let you know, this child just died." But it made no sense to me because I'm in this country a few hundred miles off the shores of the US, and this child died because she didn't have enough food, period. And I got back on a plane and I went back home to a country where people are dying because we eat too much, we drink too much, overconsumption. And how can this happen? So I wanted to learn more about that. So I became a nurse, and then I studied global health and public health. So I think about the work with Clowns Without Borders. I guess this is year 14 I've been working with them. For the first 10 years working with them, 1 year my annual income after taxes was $7,000. And I was happier than I've ever been. And I think the more people that can do that, authentically do that, we're gonna see the world shape itself in a different way.